Okay, now to add the nose, remember this is the back, this is the front. I'm gonna use the back part. Gonna hide this tail inside. Let's pull it all the way inside. Same goes for this side. And just tie a knot to kind of hold it in place. Now this tail here, just set it aside. So since the tail is here, I'm going to use it to sew this side. Now I'm going to use this side to sew here. Somewhere here. Ooh, now it looks like an owl. Oh, maybe I should start from here. There is going to be one more mouth here, so here you don't really have to bother whether it went in right or not, so long it's on this line here, and just follow that line. Here still looks a bit messy. No worry, because I'm gonna have one more line here to cover this up. So now I have one tail here, so this tail I'm gonna sew this side. Now this tail, I end up here, I'm gonna sew this side. I want this eyebrow to go very near the eye, and also kind of like cover part of it like this, and go all the way to here. If you see, this should be like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, the 5th row or the 6th row. So long you get to cover part of the eye, and this one comes here. So I'll make one more stitch here as near as the eye as possible. Let's see how this goes. There. Okay, it looks kind of near the eye. So here no worry, because there'll be one more row here to cover this up. So now I am going to make one stitch here first. You pull this as far as you can. Make sure you straighten it. Make sure it covers part of the eye all the way to here. So you just make one stitch here to kind of hold it in place, like so. Then you take a look and see if this is how it should be. Okay, and now I'm gonna sew from here to here. Let me change. I think I prefer to use the other needle, it's easier. Then you just hold on to it and start to sew. I think I'll follow this line here so that it's going to go up and down or zigzag. Just follow this line. You don't have to make every stitch. You can just jump to the next, skip one or so. So long you have 2 stitch here to hold it and more stitch here on the eye. You see this part is kind of like bulging, so it looks kind of like an eyebrow, right? That's why you have to use the back, not the front. The front would look like as if it sink in. The middle part here like sink in. Whoops! What went wrong? Okay. Now the critical part here is the one that is very near the eye. You are going to stitch on the green part. Make sure you stitch on the green part here. The green part here. And you make 1 stitch on this gray part. There. So make it look as if it's say like this. Do 1 stitch on that green part. The edge of the green part, then 1 more here, because you do not want this part to like show a hole or dangling. Make it look as if it's it's one, it's together, it's sticking together. Those who do not like to sew, if you want, you can add glue, but I do not like to add glue. So this is how it looked like. So now the top part here you have to sew as well, because you wouldn't want it to be bulging like this. I mean, like open up like this. So once you're sure this is the spot, then now I start to sew the top part here. You just make sure you come up from the head first, then go find 1 stitch on the eyebrow, because sometimes it's not exactly, you might not poke exactly on the right spot. If you can make it as this row here, make it sew it as inside as possible so that this part will bulge like this. Make it look like an eyebrow. Now I really look like an owl. Yeah, maybe one day I should crochet an owl. I've yet to crochet owl. Are there any other pattern that you like to see I crochet? You can put in the comment section. I will see if I can get a pattern, come up with a pattern. So can you see this is kind of bulging? It shows the eyebrow. And this part here, you just follow this line. Doesn't really matter once it goes to the back. Most important is this part here to show that there is an eyebrow. Give it some face looking eyebrow. So this is how you sew the eyebrow. So I'll come back to you once I'm done with the other eyebrow as well. So do the same this side. Use the tail here. Pull it because it's shaped here. Pull it to the point where you count how many rows. Once you're satisfied, make one stitch here first. So this will hold it, then you start to stitch all around. So from the inside, bring this to the inside and come out here. This way, I do not need to put so many pins around it. I do not like to put pin because sometimes at the end I might miss out one or two pin. So that's it. This is how you do the eyebrow. I'll come back to you once I have this side done. And this is how it look like. You see the eyebrow. So now let's do the ear. Use the same color yarn. I made one here, so let's do another one. Oh yes, we're gonna start with a magic circle. You make a magic circle or a magic ring, and you're gonna do 4 single crochet hooks. You're gonna do 4 single crochet into the magic ring. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 single crochet into the magic ring. Then you go to that first stitch. If you're not sure where is the first stitch, you can always count back from the V shape here. See this V shape here? Go count back and you will find your first stitch. On this first stitch, I'm going to do 1 single crochet. And let me add a marker. The next stitch, I'm going to do an increase. Increase means 2 single crochet into the same stitch. 1, 2. 2 single crochet in the same stitch. This is one set. Then you're going to do 2 sets of all this. 1 single crochet, increase, Once you've done that, turn it inside out, you know, make it look like a cone. There. It's way easier to crochet now. Oops, sorry. Like a cone. So now we're going to go to row 3. Row 3, we are going to do 2 single crochet, or single crochet in the next 2. So this is 1 single crochet, two single crochet, and you're gonna do an increase in the next stitch. Increase means 2 single crochet into the same stitch. 1, 2, increase. This makes 1 set. I'm gonna do 2 sets of this. 1 single crochet, 2 single crochet, and then you do increase. This. And then row 4, you just do single crochet all around, no increase. So I should have 8 stitches. The previous row I have 8 stitches as well. And now row 5. Row 5, I'm going to do single crochet in the next 3 followed by an increase. This is 1, 2, 3 single crochet, and then increase. Increase means 2 single crochet into the same stitch. This makes 1 set. You're going to do 2 sets of this. One, 2, 3, and you do increase. So row 6 until row 9. So you should have 10 stitches in this row. So row 6 until row 8, sorry, not row 9, row 8. Row 6 until row 8, you should do single crochet all around. So in case you're not sure which row you're at, so normally how I count is, this is row 6, first stitch, so this is 6, 1, 6, 2, 6, 3, 6, 4, 6, 5, 6, 6, 6, 7, 6, 8, 6, 9, 6, 10, which means this is row 6 and this is my 10 stitches. So now row 7, same thing, 7, 1. I mean, if you want to follow this method, 7, 1, 7, 2, 7, 3, 7, 4, 7, 5, 7, 6, 7, 7, 7, 8, 7, 9, and 7, 10. You know, sometimes my brain flies somewhere else, and when I here 7 10. I know this is the 8th row. I mean, that's how I track. If you have other ways of tracking which row you're at, go ahead. Because sometimes here, especially for beginners, this part here is kind of difficult to see if this is 1 or 2. So it's kind of difficult to count. Am I at the 8th row? Am I at the 9th row? So that's why just now I count 6 1 6 2 6 3 6 4, you know. So now it's 8 1 8 2 8 3 8 4 8 5 8 6 8 7. Oh, I must have counted wrongly. 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9. Oh yes, I didn't count this one. Okay, so I have 8 rows all together. Or there's another way. If you have done 1 ear and halfway, like me, sometimes my brain just flies somewhere else dreaming, you just put it side by side and see if it's the same height. If it's the same height, then yep, you got it right. So now you go to the next stitch. You do a slip stitch and chain 1, and you pull tight to make a knot. Then you leave a bit of a tail for sewing. And this one, this part here, you just hide it inside. And as for the ear, I want it to kind of fold a bit like this, so that from afar you can see it's an ear, not a horn. Okay, like this. So I'm gonna make 1 stitch here. Okay, I'm gonna fold the ear like this and make 1 stitch across. Yeah, maybe 1 more. So that it stays this way, which makes it look very like an ear. So now you just go to the end of this eyebrow thing and just put 1 ear on this. Either you put it on top here, or you can put it at the back, just right at the back of the. So I'm going to make 1 stitch here. Whoops. Hold it there first and take a look and see. Okay, it looks pretty neat. So now I'm gonna just sew it all around. It's a good thing that I have not add any stuffing, so it's very easy to sew. This one, the head is kind of big, so it's easy to sew. As for this fella, definitely not easy because it's kind of small. The hole is kind of small. So you just sew all around here. Make sure you do not interfere with this working yarn. We have not complete the whole head yet, so be careful when you sew. Then you come to this part here, just make 1 stitch to here, you know, kind of like join it. push this down to the inside and check and see if the ear is solid, it's attached nicely, or is it dangling. Make sure there's no hole here. You don't have to add stuffing inside, because once you do it this way, it will stay nicely. So this one looks pretty good. So I'll do another one here, and then I'll come back to you and do the horn. You will have 4 big horns and 2 small horns. And let me get the other ear fixed and I'll come back to you. Okay, I've attached the ear. So now there'll be 2 big horns here and 1 here, 1 here. Then followed by a small horn here and here, like this. Oh, like this. So now make the big horn. I already made 3 of it. I'll show you how to do the big horn. We start with a magic circle. Make a magic circle. Wait, let me get my yarn straight. A magic circle, and you do 4 single crochet into the ring. 1, 2, 3, and 4. 4 single crochet into the ring. Pull tight, and you go to that first stitch. Go to that first stitch and do 1 single crochet in that first stitch. And let me add a marker. 1 single crochet. Then the next one, you're going to do an increase. 1, 2, 2 single crochet into the same stitch. Single crochet, increase. 1 more set. Single crochet. Increase. And make sure you fold it inside out like this. Make it look like a cone. So you should have 6 stitches in this row. Now we go to row 3. Row 3, I'm going to do single crochet in the next 2 stitch. 1, 2, and you do an increase. 1, 2, 1, 2, increase. This is 1 set. You do 1 more set. 1, 2, increase. So this row we should have 8 stitches. And now from row 4 until row 6, you just do single crochet all around. So I'm going to use my method to count. I mean, this part here sometimes is kind of difficult to see whether this is 1 or this is 1. Okay. So this is the row, this is row 4. This is the first stitch. I'm going to call this as 4, 1. Row 4, first stitch, 4, 1. 4, 2, 4, 3, 4, 4, 4, 5, oops, 4, 6, 4, 7, 4, 8. Next row, 5, 1, 5 2 5 3 5 4 5 5 5 6 5 7 5 8. Normally when I'm doing parts like this, I make sure I finish it before I move away so that I don't have to leave it and come back and like, oops, where did I stop? So this is 5 8, so now 6 6 1 6 2 6 3 6 4 6 5 6 6 6 7 and 6 8. So which means this is the last row. And take a look and see, whoops, yep, it's the same height. And you go to the next stitch, you do a slip stitch, chain 1 and pull tight to make a knot here, and you just leave a bit of a tail for sewing, so you make 4 of this. Okay, let me just show you where you're going to put the horn. You're going to sew the horn exactly like the ear. Put, you know, sew all around it since it's easy. There's no stuffing here. So you're going to put one horn here. You can put it at the back. You can put it in front a bit. It doesn't really matter, because I'm not going to add stuffing, and later you can actually bend it this way. So I'm going to make it like the same line as the ear. So you're going to sew 2 here like this. Then you're going to make 1 here right below the ear, and 1 more here right below the ear, like this, maybe 1 stitch away. Then later we would continue the head and do 2 rows of decrease before we attach the small horn tone. Sorry. So now let me get all these 4 attached. 1 2 3 and 4. Okay, same way as this, and I'll come back to you once I'm done. Okay, I've joined the 4 big horn. Now I have to do 2 more rows of decrease before I got space to add this small horn. This is a smaller horn here. Does it look mean? Oh yes, let's do the lips first. Okay, for the lips, doesn't matter you want it to be smiley or not smiley, you still need a lips. So, and this is just my habit of making a knot. Once you make a knot, you just chain 15. 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10 11 12 13 14 15. So once you have a chain 15, just measure here and see if it's too long. It should be okay, just nice. You can make it shorter or longer if you want. So you go to the second stitch from the hook. This is the hook. This is the first stitch from the hook. This is the second stitch from the hook. And just go in and do single crochet all the way until the very end. That's it. and this is the upper lips. With the upper lips, it looks way better, like it has a mouth, a big white mouth. Just single crochet until the very end. And you just leave a long tail of sewing like this. So again, I'm going to use the back, not the front, because when you use the front, the middle part here kind of sink in. You notice the middle part here, it will sink in. So I'm going to use the back like this. I'm going to sew this here like this. It's from this eye until this eye. Now, does that look mean? So now I'm doing this version. This one only has this, whereas this one I add a lower jaw with a tongue. I shall show you that later. So as for now, you just sew this here like exactly like how we sew the eyebrow. Just get one of the, just bring this shorter yarn over. Let's bring it over. Like this. Measure again. It should be right. So make sure it balances off, does not go too far on one side and too less on the other side. And make sure when you sew, do not interfere with this working yarn. We are not done with this yet, so make sure. Okay, I'm going to see if I can make it bulge a bit. Oops. Oh gosh, all this is in the way. Like this. One more stitch here. Oops. And then you go up. Make sure it goes right under the eye. I'm gonna sew this part here first. So just make sure let me see. If this is not right, I'll redo, because I wouldn't want one side to be over, you know. Okay, so this one, make sure it reaches the exact spot, because it's gonna curl. It's a circle, I mean, you know, and you add stuffing, it's gonna curl. So what I'm going to do is here and make sure everything is fine. Then I just make one stitch here to kind of hold it first, hold it in place. Okay, hold it in place so I know when I sew this would be it. Just put this not too tight because it will show, so you just sew here and try to make it as if it joins with this part here. This part here, if you can, try and make it look like this. So when it looks like this, you wouldn't know who joined with who, right? Okay, I'll come back to you once I have this nicely fastened.